Hey there, superstars. Welcome to Soulfully Illumined. We are going over the energies for this new moon in Leo that's coming up next week as I'm filming. And, you know, right now we're in the middle of the Lionsgate portal and the energies are just really, really potent. This is such a potent time. If you haven't watched the full moon in Aquarius video, you may want to, because I'm finding like with the cards, it's similar to what came up in the last reading. But if you don't, if you don't want to, totally get it. Let's get into this new moon in Leo energies though, because we went from this full moon in Aquarius, which was just like expansion, blowing our minds open, seeing beyond the veil, which is taking us into this Lionsgate portal where the veil is super thin. And depending on your perspective and where you are in your journey, you're getting a lot of great insights and understandings and revelations about your life. About maybe things that have transpired and so forth. And as we enter into this now new moon in Leo, the Leo being the lion, it's about regality, it's about knowing our worth and holding our strength and being brave. This new moon marks a new beginning. And with that, a shift of consciousness and a shift of how we are choosing to move forward in our reality. And sorry, I'm going to stop there because I just wanted to, I'm looking at the camera, I'm like, oh my God, the lighting in this video is super terrible. I'm sorry, but the sun, I like light from the sun coming in, natural light, and there's clouds, the thunder's going to start soon. The rain is going to start any minute, so this is the best that we can do in this moment. So I do hope it is still aesthetically clear. Let's continue on. So I forgot where I was, but like my tangent there, it's, I think that's another theme that's happening for us, is that we may be off on different tangents or different divine paths that may not be exactly the way that we would have liked to. Certain things coming up in our lives that we have to deal with, or certain old memories resurfacing to be experienced again, to be healed and looked at from a whole different perspective. Regardless of how it's playing out for you, there's a clearing out. It's there to bring forth more of our sovereign being, more of our courage and strength and integrity in each moment. Because, a diamond, you don't just dig a diamond out and it's a diamond. It's built with heat. It's built with stress and pressure so that this beautiful diamond can emerge and shine. And so there may be moments for you guys, for all of us really, where we may feel that. But know this new moon is marking a new beginning in which we are standing forth in a more stronger, grounded approach to our lives. And with this companionship animals card, it's about here being more comfortable in our environment, more comfortable with the world around us and the diversity that it holds. But most importantly, being comfortable with ourselves and the multidimensionality and those wide range of emotions and thoughts that we carry, and not being submerged in it. As it is an aspect of ourselves coming up to be expressed, but it's not fully and truly who we are. And you see in this image how she blends in, the colors blend in with the whole environment, but yet she's separate from it. And I feel like this is a major theme for this new moon, moving forward in our divine essence, seeing those things around us, that diversity that is around us, and being able to hold space for it, but not being submerged in it. We have a card 21 up above, and those numbers, or the 21 may resonate with you, or the 2, 1, or 3. And with the 3, I'm getting self-expression, or just expressing oneself. And again, that Leo, that lion roaring. And the thing about the lion is it knows when to take a step back and observe, and it knows when to move. It's instinct. And what's coming through is this, this more controlled way of being in the world. And I'm seeing like the layers of this, because people are going to be experiencing this globally on a different level, right? So for example, some people maybe feel a little tested, quote unquote tested, in a sense of, well, there's going to be some pressure building. And that is, again, that diamond bearing that pressure so it can emerge to shine. And then there are others where it's like, okay, you've been in that pressure for a long time, and it's now time for you to step up and shine. So that may come through on many different levels. Regardless, the theme is still the same, where we are moving forward in this more stronger state of our being. And with this rain card in reverse, and you know what? I was looking at this word, tekunditi, tekunditi. I don't even know what this word is. If you know the meaning of it, please put it in the comments down below. I just kind of went past it and said, all right, whatever. And I saw the word rain. I'm like, Spirit's going to tell me what I need to know anyway. Or what they want me to present to you anyway. So what I'm getting here with the rain and it being in reverse, it's like we've been undergoing a massive purification globally, collectively, throughout these times. This is part of our mission here. And as we've been releasing a lot of the old, we've been also releasing a lot of what's been holding us down and holding us in a very tight state, a rigid state. That is falling away. And I'm seeing this as a number 7 that's carved into the trunk here of the tree. We've been going into a massive amount of spiritual growth, spiritual evolution, energetically shifting the energies around us. And that has been and continues to be taking us to a point where we're able to walk out into that sovereignty that I was referring to earlier. You'll find that the things that cannot be controlled are there for a reason. The things you cannot control in your world around you are there for a divine purpose. Trust in the process. And the things that you can control, those things that are in your awareness and that are in front of you, that you can take care of and are inspired to do so, is there for you to do so. There's that difference, right? That duality. And so, and that's the Leo, that's the shadow part of the ego, or the shadow part of the Leo, which is the ego of and you know, the stubbornness, the ego, there's the pride, there's, you know, all of that. And it all serves a purpose, of course, at the right time and space. But I feel like the reason why I'm bringing that up is with that shadow is it's kind of like there's this point of humility and a point of being humble within our circumstances and knowing when it's time to move and time to react or respond is probably a better word, and a time to kind of sit back and allow. It's that respect, for lack of a better word, of that divine flow. Knowing that everything is as it should be. We're learning that greater, not learning, but remembering is a better word. We're remembering that grander, we're remembering that grander state of just being here and that ebb and flow of life. Which brings me to that bottom of the deck energy where it says solidity and it says inner core. And underneath that is endurance and rock. So we're opening up the confinements of the mind, confinements of the way that we've been working, and the structure that the structure that we built that hasn't really been that stable and supportive for us. We're allowing that to fall. And in other words, allowing it to burn. This is the fire season of Leo, right? And with that, peace will emerge. And you may find at this point, especially during this month, okay, the impossible becoming possible. As we let go of our ego and we allow the divine to do what it's meant to do, to bring forth that magic as we sit back in our regality, if that's even a word. So I hope that makes sense, but I think like it feels like on a global sense, there may be some ruckus going on in the global sense this month. There's a lot of energy swirling around, and I know it continues on until September, where things are just kind of swirling around and shifting and moving and things. Remember your grace. Remember the words that I said here with these cards, because you know you have so much strength and bravery within you, and I feel like you're walking, or we are all walking in through the doorway where it's going to require us to just kind of be in that energy. All right, thank you for watching this collective part of this reading. We are going into the pick a pile aspect of it and go dive a little bit deeper and more specific into your worlds. And so go ahead and scroll down below and you can pick pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3, and I will see you at your pile shortly. Hey there, pile 1, welcome to your reading for this new moon in Leo. So let's get into it. Let's see how these energies are impacting you. But it was interesting. I was like just tapping in and like the world just went silent, which was so nice, and felt really, really serene. So I don't know if that's your energy or like, well, it feels like it's your energy, and if it's so, that's lovely. So let's get into it. The new moon in Leo, spirit, for pile 1. How are these energies impacting them energetically, or them specifically? Okay, so we have here, okay, So we have lightening your load, we have inspiration, and we have reconciliation. So here, what I'm getting is a lot of yin and yang energy for you, but okay, let's go energetically. There's a rebalancing that's happening through this new moon, where maybe you've been carrying a lot in the past. You've been feeling very heavy in the past, pile one. This new moon is really lighting you up from the inside out. So it could be that your world around you has been really heavy, lots of things happening around you, lots of obligations, deadlines, things like that. And that may continue, pile one, but I feel like it's going to be balancing out because you're going to be feeling more lighter inside. You're going to be feeling more like sunshine internally, and your outer world may not express it. Know that, give it some time, because it's almost like you're balancing the internal world with the external world. All right, so the rest of it takes time to manifest exteriorly, but there's a balancing that's happening. Be wary, not wary, but be observant of how you feel at night versus the day, pile one. That's going to give you some greater insight about what's been holding you back, what's been in the dark. That resurfaces at certain times. For example, at nighttime, you find that you're more in your head, you're more in a state of worry, versus during the daytime, you feel really light and happy or whatever. That's an example. So watch how you feel during those different times, especially if there's extremes there. They're there for you to unify it. They're there for you to just observe it, see it, and address it at that moment. But there's a state of peace that's emerging within you, pile one. That's really what it comes down to. So give it some time. Your solar plexus is expanding and connecting more with that. I'm hearing higher heart. So I feel like this Lionsgate portal for you, pile one, has been really impacting your heart, especially that higher heart, to help bring forth more peace and clarity into your world. That's now magnifying and carrying into that solar plexus of yours, into that root chakra, but predominantly that solar plexus. Okay, and that's really helping you to just clear out some old patterns that you've been carrying. And part of it is the mental. So let's go into the mental. There's going to be some mental patterns that are coming up to be released. Okay, mental patterns that you've been holding on to, that have been a part of your program, and it could be like subconscious. It could be like these small little details that have actually been impacting you in big ways. And that's coming up to be released for you, to be observed, to be seen. So you can just nip that in the bud. Hamstring. Why? Why is the hamstring? Hamstrings aren't tight. Why aren't your hamstrings tight? Yeah, I know, I read cards a little bit different. I'm just looking at his hamstrings over here and how they're not contracting. Why aren't they contracting? Because you've been in your mind for too long. Pile one. It's time to get back into your body. This new moon energy is helping to bring you back into your body. So walking, moving around, if you go to the gym, doing things that require more of your hips and your thighs to move, so you can get more grounded into your root chakra, more grounded in your root. You may be compensating by putting too much, it's because you're carrying too much. You may be carrying too much on your shoulders. Pile one. Meaning too many obligations, too many things going on, too many things that maybe you said yes to and maybe should have said no to. And I know it's not shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's more like, how can I do this differently next time? I'm laughing because I've said that so many times to myself. And so the question is for you, pile one, how can you walk forward in life with a lighter step? right? So what responsibilities are you carrying too much on your back that's making you feel heavy in your body, heavy to move forward? This is the time to reassess, because there's a merging that's happening for you. And for some of you, it could be emerging with another person's, and others of you is emerging with yourself, with more of your divine essence that's coming through. But it can't come through, only so much can come through when the body's already too heavy and dense. So energetically, there's a lighting up, there's a lifting up that's happening for you, but mentally, it's time to clear some things out that's preventing you from elevating. For some of you, levitating. I don't know, whatever that means to you. Now, emotionally, with the fire element for you, pile 1, I'm feeling like there may be some anger, frustration that may be popping up during the new moon. Hey, it's all good. We need to experience these emotions so we know how to shift them, or shift where we are, or shift some aspect to make us feel better again. And I feel like for you that if it comes up, it's because you're shifting it out. All right? You are shifting it out. So know this, that you do have all the tools that you need around you in every moment. If you're worried about your, I'm hearing finances, like you have a bill coming next week and you're worried about whether or not you're going to be able to pay it, it's not next week right now. Don't worry about it in this moment. Trust the process, and the inspiration, something will come through. And I'm not saying to sit down and just wait for the money to just float into your lap. I'm saying you'll get the messages, you'll be divinely guided when it's time. There's no sense in worrying about something that we have little control over right now. If you didn't watch the collective part of this reading, you may want to. Just something to think about. So I'm getting a lot of circles here. Circle, circle. So moving forward with this, it's kind of like some things have now, oh my God, I can't even speak. Some things have come full circle. So you may feel like a closing out of a cycle, pile 1. You may find that there's certain situations may present itself again. You're not the same person you were yesterday. You're not in yesterday. Remember that when it comes about again, okay? Because the person you are today would handle the situation differently based on everything you've learned since then. So just trust yourself is what I'm getting. Trust in the lessons that you've learned and know that you're ready. And again, you have all the tools that you need within you. So let's continue on. We're going to do the Energy Oracle deck. So for pile 1, Spirit, what else do they need to know? But let's go into their physical reality for this new moon in Leo. Oh, I like that, Popper. Let's take you. Oh, I like that card too. Happy family. Let's continue. What else? We're going to take the top card. We're going to take one more. And I'm going to move my hair off of the table. Okay. So we have happy family here under lighten your load. We have the gate, the garden and the gate, and we have woman holding a coin, and healer of the ages in reverse here. So a couple things coming through here. First things first, you may have some opportunities being presented to you at this point. It may trigger some fears for you, pile 1. Again, you have all the tools that you need, and if something's presented to you, it's because you're ready for it. All right, remember that. If it's presented to you, you're ready for the opportunity, the experience that's about to unfold in front of you. You are ready. And let me tell you, your intuition will be heightened at this time. You may want to, pile 1, connect with the violet fire. I was going to say flyer. The violet flyer. Who knows? Someone might get a violet flyer in the mail. That's going to give you an opportunity. But if you have downtime and you're feeling like, you're feeling that heaviness, you may want to connect with the violet fire or the violet flame. There's plenty of meditations on YouTube. And just to help release some of that heaviness and that residual energy, okay, some of that stuff that you've been holding on to. It just helps to speed up the process, and it's a beautiful energy. With a 4-2, like you have a 4, a 4-2, you have a 6 over here. So really firm foundation for this new moon, moving into this energy. Some of you may have something, there's a connection. If you have a daughter, you may have this experience with your daughter. This experience that's going to be a healing for both of you in a different way. So if you're a daughter, you may have this experience with your mother that's going to help heal the past so you can enjoy the present. That's the way it's coming through. But it's like something is being released from you, from that divine feminine aspect of self. And some of it, like, I keep getting teenager vibes here. So it could be like maybe you have a teenager as like a daughter or son even, that has more of a softer vibe. Or it could be that teenager aspect of you. As teenagers, we're so like, I know this is a total general statement, but like at a teenager level, we're more inadequate. We feel awkward. You go through the awkward stage, the acne stage, the crazy hair stage. Like, we go through all of that. There may be something about self-confidence that's coming up in you. Some of you may have like that people pleaser tendency because of something that happened in childhood. Anyway, it's connected to a load that you've been carrying on you. That's coming up to be released. You're building a strong foundation, one that's just more emotionally fulfilling for you, pile 1. Really, really nice. And then here with the garden and the gate, again, this is that financial opportunity, and it may stray from your usual type in a way that, before used to work in a box. Now you're going beyond that and expanding beyond that to something that's a little more, more of your cup of tea is what I'm getting. I don't know why. And so it's kind of like be open to the possibilities, because you may not realize it's something that floats your boat in the moment, but there's something important that's coming out of it. Be open to the opportunities. And with the Healer of the Ages in reverse, I feel like with this card, what it's saying is still there's a lot of insight coming in for you. This is a time of allowing things to transpire around you, pile 1, because for some reason, somehow, it's igniting an inner fire. It's igniting an inner flame. It's igniting your inspiration. Trust in divine detours. It's funny, I used to hate that. Whenever I got that card, Trust in Divine Detours, from the Choquette Baron-Reid deck, I just roll my eyes. I'm like, what, another one? Another one? But it's like, if you trust it, you can look back later and be like, crap, now I know why that happened, because of this, this, and this, and that. And then you learn to respect the process. For those of you that are frustrated with my words, it's just, I don't know, it's like this I don't know, it's like this labyrinth. It's like this roller coaster ride where you're just being taken to all of these different places that you're like, oh, okay, wow, this is incredible. Oh my God, that's scary. And it's like, oh my God, yay. Oh my God, that really sucks. And then, yay. Oh my gosh, we arrived. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying here is, I'm totally on a tangent here, but what I'm trying to say to you is this. Trust the ride that you're on, because all of this that's happening for you is for you. And this new moon is bringing you greater self-confidence, greater self-awareness, more expansion, more power in the palm of your hands that you didn't realize that you had in the first place, okay? Greater union within yourself. So, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go into empowering questions. Any empowering questions that they need to ask themselves, pile 1, for this new moon in Leo spirit. We're gonna go with the top one. What are those things that make me feel good while I'm doing them? It's a good one. You might want to screenshot that. Yeah, especially with the red, because it's like the question that's been posed a lot lately is, what makes me want to be here on Earth, in this reality, in the present moment? What makes me want to be here versus in my mind or in my fantasy land? Go in that direction. That is where your inspiration lies. And that's going to take you away from that heaviness. And I'm getting the heaviness of the past. Shall we pull one more? Yes. What is my biggest dream? What can I do today to move closer to that dream? Movement forward for you for this new moon, pile 1, for sure. Movement forward. Okay, so are we, I think we're done. Okay, pile 1. That is your reading for this new moon in Leo. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Do give it a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again. Bye. Hey there, pal 2. Welcome to your reading for this new moon in Leo. Let's get into it. Let's see what wants to come through. We are starting with, I should really know the name of this deck, but I don't. Not off the top of my head, not at this very moment, but let's get into it. So how are these energies impacting group 2, please, for this new moon in Leo spirit? Tell us, show us. For pile 2, thank you. Okay, so we have forgiveness and we have family. Okay, I'm hearing this period for you marks a new way of being. Okay, so energetically, I feel like there's a letting go that's happening in your body, mind, emotions, energetically, and it's making way for the new for you. So I just feel like this period for you, like even through the Lionsgate portal, you've just been getting a lot of revelations, understandings, shifts of perspectives, just different perspectives. And so that's allowed you to let go of a lot. And I'm hearing you may have had an emotional purge, pile 2. I know how painful that can be, but kudos to you, because that's really lightening up your load and allowing you to really just be your pure state. Really be in your purity. And it's difficult, you know, to be in your pure state, to be in that vulnerable state. But if you haven't figured it out yet, you will. But I feel like what's coming in for you is really just a lot of strength. This knowingness of your perfection and how amazing and incredible you are, and how you can be vulnerable as well. And it's like but you have so much strength and fierceness with you. It's like you balance that purity with that fierceness in a way that's just perfect for you. I don't know, there's something about that. But it's like all of that, I just feel like you just walking through this period for this new moon is really going to be like, it's almost like I'm seeing like you walking through energy. And it's like, as you do, everything kind of separates, everything kind of moves to make space for you in this period. There's an opening up. And so that imagery can mean different things. It can mean that you're finally opening up and letting go of the stuff that's been restricting you, okay, from a mental, emotional, physical standpoint or energetic standpoint. You're just kind of allowing yourself to kind of spread and open that up. But also I'm seeing from your physical reality, things aren't going to bother you as much moving forward. With the family here, bottom of the deck here, I feel like you've been doing a lot of shadow work, or this new moon may bring a lot of shadow work for you into that full moon that's happening, that super full moon at the end of the month. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So you may get like this elevation, this wave that's starting to get higher and higher into that full moon, where you start to feel that tension arising, helping you to look at things and see things, and then you may have that combustible moment during that full moon. So it can happen in a couple different ways for you, pile 2, but I digress a little bit. So from a mental state, I feel like there's this lightness that's occurring in your mind and emotions, and it's allowing you to really ground more strongly into your physical reality. There's a lightness of the heart, and I'm hearing a lightness of the soul. It's like you've ended this old cycle, pile 1, of old family wounding. And you're finally like, you're letting it go. Really, really nice. I said this with pile 1. I am also going to say it with you, pile 2. You may want to work with the violet flame during this time, or around the time during that full moon, to help release some of that energy that's around you. There's a lot of meditations on YouTube, or, you know, just breathe in that energy until it just goes through your entire body, and then when you're ready, just, you know, you're ready. But it's such a powerful, powerful energy that we're able to work with. Okay, so let's continue on, and let's take it a little deeper. So for pile 2 spirit, I didn't even shuffle. Let's just shuffle it again. Let's clear out the other. Clear it out. All right, Spirit, for pile 2, for this new moon in Leo, what do they need to know about their physical reality? Thank you. We have the garden and the gate. You're entering a new period, pile 2. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. Like pile 1 had like the woman holding the coin. And then they had this as well. So you may have picked both piles. So I'm not sure. Anyway, you're walking into new opportunities as well this month during this new moon period, pile 2. But it's in a different way. It's almost like pile 1 was more about like career and opportunities and things like that. And yours is about opportunities, but it feels different. To me, it feels like a whole new chapter in your reality, a whole new way of being, a whole new way of seeing and experiencing the world. This for you is more spiritual, it's more energetic, it's more about you. And I feel like you're walking into this new beginning, but not the same person as you were, if you choose, because I'm sensing hesitancy with this garden and the gate card. Hesitancy about what lies ahead and whether or not you're ready to bring forth that vulnerability, ready to, with the attachment card, take off the mask. And notice how she's wearing white as well, whereas here with the forgiveness card, she was wearing white as well. It's like this moving forward is going to require you to be brave. For some reason, it's requiring you to really just be brave. So you could have a situation presenting itself, but I feel like you're at this like crossroads. It's just the next phase of your journey where there's a gate and you're walking through it, and there's apprehension about what's next because maybe you don't see what's happening next for you. But I can tell you, it looks damn good here with the heart, man holding heart, man holding coin. Like, check that out. Like, come on. Love, materialism, like it's there for you. If those are two things that you've been waiting for, my friends, it is upon you. And notice that's under the family card. So you have some newness that's being presented to you after this new moon, right? But I think the question, it all comes down to you with the 5. It's a choice for you of, are you wanting, are you willing? Are you brave enough, which I know you are, but are you ready enough to take off that mask and unchain yourself and move forward in a whole new beginning? A beginning that's no longer black or white, but is multicolored, multidimensional. It's a whole new world. This is the question that is going to be presented to you during this new moon pile 2. Because what's coming forth here is, as I said, it's a whole new, it could be community, it could be a person, a new partner coming in, but regardless of what it is, it's something that's really going to support you, and support you from an emotional context, from a way that's really going to allow you to just be who you are. But sometimes we need to be who we are in order for that to come through. Although, you know, I've seen so many movies where, you know, the girl's just like kind of not being herself, and, you know, some guy comes in and, you know, he supports her and helps her to blossom. And that's a great story, but I don't know how, like, and that happens. But in this instance, what I'm seeing here is this opportunity for you to take off that veil, let go of the past, and really move forward with love and compassion for yourself and the world around you. It's like you've been working on this manifestation for a long time, for a while, and things are shaping up. And during this new moon, during this month, pile 1, you're going to be seeing some things come to be. The question is, are you willing to walk through the gate, walk into this new reality, and trust that it will show up? As I said that, I looked up, it said 11:55 on my timer. So, what's next? Yeah, with the man holding a coin, it brings me back to the divine masculine, the art of doing, right? Inspired action, man holding a coin. And then with the holding the heart is doing it with love. Doing it with love and doing it with just with stability, with grace and stability. And so I feel like it's like this goes together and this goes together. Yeah, because something that you want, pal, to is wanting you. And what's wanting you is vulnerability. Wanting you is, I don't know, why do I feel like this is a love reading? Maybe for some of you it is. But it's like what you want wants you, wants the vulnerability, wants the authenticity, wants you to just be who you are and know that it is good enough. And I feel like with you, pal, too, you've gone through it. You've gone through the ringer. And so you know this already. You know all the basics. You know all the stuff that you need to know about authenticity, about being vulnerable, and then about setting boundaries, things like that. You know that. So really, you're ready. You're ready because you have this opportunity to move through the gate and have the things that you've been waiting for, your wish fulfillment. So I feel like this period for this new moon for you is really going to help some of you take off the mask and let it go. And some of you, it's going to be all of it. And letting it go and choosing you and your authenticity, who you are, with no excuses and no compromises. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to go into empowering questions. Some questions for you to maybe ask yourself during this new moon. What Spirit wants to bring up for you for this new moon. So for Pile 2, please, Spirit, for this new moon in Leo, what do you want them to know? What is it that fascinates me so much that the thought or feeling of it won't leave me alone? How do I put this feeling into action right now? I love that. It's like, what inspires me? What motivates me? Walk in that direction. Let's get one more. Sorry about that, pal, too. My camera ran out of space there, so I don't even know where I stopped, but the second card I pulled was, what larger entity am I a part of? And I feel like what this card is trying to say is, it's kind of like, it's saying, how do I say this in words? You're so much bigger than you know, and you're so much more than you know. But you know that you're bigger than where you are today or what you think you are. And I feel like it's time for you to see that in yourself. And so mirror work may be something to consider, especially as we approach that full moon. Or if you feel like you're doing some purging or you're feeling anxious, talking to yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror and having a talk with yourself. Because I feel like when you look in the mirror, Pile 2, and you have that conversation, you're going to catch glimpses, at the bare minimum, of something more to you that's going to give you that oomph, that energy, that courage, that, no, not even courage, that oomph, you know, that energy to be like, yeah, I am the bomb diggity. So just something to consider there. I'm going to end this reading. I didn't do it with pile 1, but I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to end it with a Sacred Rebel Oracle card for you, pile 2, because I feel like I finished yours earlier than pile 1. So for pile 2, Spirit, for this new moon in Leo, what do they need to know? Thank you. We have beyond the mind, the heart beats. Okay, and I'm going to read that from the book. Okay. In the chaos of modern life and the constant fluctuations of our mind, it can be difficult to remember that a sublime sanctuary lies within, yet it is always there. Beneath the ceaseless activity, there is an endless, vast spaciousness that restores and connects to something greater, something that exists outside of time. Some might call it eternity. Within that sanctuary, sacred sound is felt rather than heard. That sacred sound is actually the reverberating heartbeat of the entire universe. Your own heart's rhythm sounds within the greatest or the greater universal heartbeat. The totality of life, all of your beings can be felt as one through listening to and feeling for the sacred sound of the heart beating within you. It is through this heartbeat that we experience a love that is more than preference or attachment. This is the love that inspires, energizes, and moves us to create, even beyond what we once thought was possible. Your love for life, the need to feel alive and express yourself, and the quest for that which is truly fulfilling. These are the sacred urges that rebel against fear and promote passion for being alive. They flow through your blood and can be felt through the beating of your heart. This oracle has a message for you. There is the way of the mind which can make mountains out of molehills, even when it thinks it is turning mountains into molehills. Then there is the way of the heart. It is subterranean and moves subtly beneath possible obstacles, intelligently shifting with exquisite sensitivity, sensing the way forward through dangerous paths and responding to what is before it can even occur in the physical world. However, with the heart's intelligence, we cannot see and know in the same way that we do when we allow the mind to direct us. We have to be open to another way if we want to benefit from the innate intelligence of the heart. This oracle comes with guidance for you. Deep within, you know what to do and you know what is true. It matters not whether the mind and its plan seems to agree with your inner sense. Your willingness to trust your heart and to rebel against fear will serve you well. Let your heart lead you. Be sure of your faith and trust in what you feel. I'm going to stop there. I think that was beautiful, and my nose is super itchy. And it's like you're moving to this time where you can just cast off that old sense of self and obligations and foundations and move into a space of inspiration and love and authenticity. It's really beautiful, pile 2. So if you enjoy this reading, do give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to reading for you again. Thanks again for watching. Bye. Hey there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading for this new moon in Leo. Let's get into it. Let's see how these energies are impacting you, shall we? So for this new moon in Leo, for pile 3, please, Spirit, how are these energies impacting them, please? Oh, there's too many. Do I? Yes, we're going to pull one more. Oh, I love that. Look at that. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, pile 3, that's so nice. Okay, so we've got love, we've got happiness, and then we've got finding, bottom of the decks, and under that, confidence. I love it. Oh, really bright and beautiful cards, pile 3. Okay, I feel like this Lionsgate portal for you, pile 3, has been really really energetic, really enlightening in many different ways. Yes, I'm talking about the Lionsgate portal, and that's taking us into this new moon in Leo. And so the energies continue, okay, into like, I think it's mid-August, Leo, Lionsgate portal, it's like about mid-August. That's what I'm feeling anyway. And so those energies that have been coming in through the Lionsgate for you have just been, they're gonna keep going for you until then. Take it in is what I'm getting. Take the energies in, play with the energies, be in the energies. This time is super favorable for you to really connect in with spirit, with the energies of Sirius, of just what feels good in your physical body, in your mind, and in your emotions. It's time for you to play. This new moon is really about being light and playful. Big themes for you. One more theme, joy. Okay? Joy. Those things, by kind of navigating in those directions, it's going to give you a greater sense of self and greater sense of purpose. So if you don't know where your calling is next, it's all good, because I feel like you're going to find more information, more clarity about that as you continue through this new moon and enjoy this dance with you and the divine that's happening. Okay? But you are going through, I'm hearing like a purification of energies as you are dancing in these energies, as you're playing in these energies. You may want to meditate. And one thing that I'd recommend is kind of like envisioning yourself as lungs. I know, weird, but like just kind of breathing in the energies, breathing out the energies, breathing in and out. But this isn't just your lungs, this is your entire being, your entire body, just opening itself up to the energies and then allowing it to kind of like meld through and you just kind of come down. You know what I mean? So doing that to really help ground the energies within your vessel and just really help you to acclimate into the new. Like I'm seeing a lot of purples here, transmutation with the purples. Again, the violet fire, what is up with that? All 3 readings, violet fire energy, violet flame energy. So you may want to do a violet flame or violet fire meditation. There are a bunch of them on YouTube, or just envisioning that violet light around you, submerging you, just really be integrating within you to help release and transmute the old is what I'm getting. There's a shift of consciousness that's happening for you, pile 3. That's happening internally. It also impacts the way that you may be a little bit more sensitive during this new moon into the full moon, especially into that super full moon, pile 3. But I feel like it's really impacting your self-expression, how you're choosing to express yourself in the world. And the way that you're moving into is a more softer approach to your reality, a more softer approach to life. But in order to do that, it's like you have to come into this place of really being solid within yourself and giving yourself so much love and compassion that when you go out and you're vulnerable in that world, and yes, there's only certain people, there may be certain people or certain situations where you cannot be vulnerable, but just being your true authentic self is vulnerable. You know what I mean? Isn't it? Don't you agree? And so it can be. Maybe not for everybody, but for a lot of people, yes, it is. Especially in today's society. Go outside with no makeup on, right? For that woman out there that wears a lot of makeup. That is being vulnerable. That is really just expressing a different part of yourself. Yes, I digress. My apologies. But my point is that major themes for you for this new moon is a lot of You okay, buddy? Sorry, Waffles was making noises and I just didn't know why there for a second. I think she was just kind of trying to sneeze or something. You okay, buddy? Waffles? You okay? All right, she's good. Let's continue. Sorry about that, pile 3. Okay, so major chakras involved at this time for you is solar plexus, like so much yellow energy going on. It's a time of upliftment, pile 3. I feel like you've been in a lot of darkness and heaviness, and you're energetically vibrating and moving up into your new timeline. Some of you is moving into a new timeline. And others of you, it's actually seeing that you're actually in the new timeline and really enjoying being in this new timeline for you. Notice how the butterfly here, is both blue and both wings are out. To me, telling me that you're ready to fly. It's time for you to play. You're in a more playful part of your journey, especially with this new moon in Leo. It's like going out there, playing, remember your regality, remembering, just giving yourself that love and that support of a king or a queen. You know what I mean? That's kind of the energy that's running through here. This feeling of release. Now, my friends, what I'm getting here is, if you don't feel like this is the state that you're in during this new moon, what's coming through is rewrite it. With it being in that new moon and that new beginning, it may be time for you to just rewrite the old story. It's like, oh crap, I feel tight today. My shoulders, I got this responsibility, I have that responsibility, blah, 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 etc., right? And I'm not trying to devalue your experience. Trust me, I get responsibilities. And so, but instead maybe shifting it and saying, all right, I have some things to do today, but for this moment, I'm going to take a moment for me, because ultimately that's where I want to come back to. And I'm going to rewrite this story and say, this is 5 minutes that I really needed, and I'm going to use it and honor it for me. Remembering my queen within, okay? That person within, that, you know what I mean? My manifestations. And then I'm going to go out in the world and I'm going to do my duties. And it's only going to require X amount of time for me. And after which time, I'm going to go back and enjoy the fruits of my labor and remember how amazing I am. That's just an example. So it may be time to rewrite that story and by starting it energetically and just scripting, for example, and just writing it out. And for some of you, it may be certain material things that you're wanting in your world, but it comes down to feeling it within yourself first in order to get that physical manifestation. And this may be the start with this new moon in Leo of feeling to then experiencing it in reality. So it's kind of like follow that feeling during this new moon. I hope this is making sense. I really do, because I can't really explain it any other way. Like, there's a couple different ways that I'm seeing these cards for you. It really depends on what energetic state you are in. But it all comes down with the finding card here is confidence. Is number one, confidence in yourself, in your worthiness, in your abilities, in your deservingness, and going with it and dancing with the world around you and however which way it transpires. But sacral plexus is really big for you during this time. I feel like that's really going to be amplified for you, pile 3. And there's something about that and connecting it with that super moon at the end of the month. And I wish I looked at the sign and I can't remember what sign it's in. But it's like, it's almost like that's just going to, right finger, why? What is the meaning of this finger, the right ring finger? If you're drawn to that, you may want to look it up and just see what the meaning is of that right ring finger, pile 3. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing energetically. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I've been talking for 10 minutes on this. Okay, let's continue. One more time. All right, Spirit, for pile 3, for this new moon in Leo, what does this look like on their physical reality? What do they need to know? Thank you. Yeah, that's the strategy, that's the writing, that's the scripting. We have the man holding a coin. We're gonna do one more card, thank you. Woman holding a heart in reverse. How interesting your readings have been. Okay, and then we have journey in reverse. Sorry, pile 3, give me a second here, because there's so many things coming through right now. Okay. With this new moon, pile 3, first of all, you may feel a little bombarded, but you're moving into a period where organization is key for you, is important for you. Moving forward intentionally is important for you and your manifestations. And so with the journaling card, with the 2-1, it's asking you to go back to the basics. It's asking you to go back to the basic things, such as the self-love, such as what are my goals for the next month, year, you know, what do I want to experience in this life? You know, the basic things. They're saying to go back to that, because when you go back to the basics, you have a foundation of your happiness. Sorry about that, pile 3. I got cut off because, again, my phone was full, so I had to delete some things. Anyway, let's get back to it. So we talked about strategy. Let's go into man holding a coin and then woman holding a heart. I feel like this, it's been like you've been a bit out of balance. And I feel like this time for you is this reassessment. It's this time where you get a better idea about your happiness, where your balance is that makes you happy, that really fulfills your needs. And it may not be here, like we got the masculine and we got the feminine, we got the coin, we got the heart. And so it's like, maybe the focus in your life has been a little bit off, where maybe you've been focused more on the material gain versus what feels good in your heart. Maybe being focused more on doing and getting things done instead of just being. You know, there's been something there that's been out of alignment that's now coming back together. Well, first off, it's there for you to reorganize and perhaps re-script it in a way that makes it work for you. And your key is happiness. This is a very important key, because once you find your balance, it's like the old chains, the old ways of doing things are obsolete now for you, pile 3. They're obsolete. And with the finding you, it's like you can finally let those chains off and really find your own balance, your own mix, okay, your own stew. And I feel like that is the next phase of your journey, the next key that's going to then unlock the door to allow this journey of yours to move forward. Yeah, because it's like you're being guided, and what's guiding you is your light. As you keep moving in the direction that is good, great, that is in alignment with your soul, you're gonna know, because it's gonna light you up. That's why. It's gonna light you up from the inside out. Your vision will become more clear. You'll know, you'll see, you'll want to be here. More present in your reality, enjoying your reality. Yeah. And so there's a rebalancing that's happening during this time for you, pile 3, in a way where you're actually really finding yourself, your essence in your day-to-day. Really, really beautiful. So I'm going to end this reading with empowering questions to see what Spirit has to say, what questions want to come through for you. What would happen if I didn't try to control my future? And we have that yellow energy here too, right? That solar plexus finding energy. So it's kind of like getting your mind out of the way to allow your heart to step forward, right? So what would happen if I didn't try to control my future? Might be a little bit of a challenge for you, pile 3, in a good way. A nice little something to kind of test out and maybe experiment with during this new moon phase. One more. What kinds of routines or habits limit my experience of everyday life? And again, we got yellow. We got, well, it's kind of orange now that I look at it, but here we have yellow. So what kinds of routines or habits limit my experience of everyday life? This new moon for you, pile 3, is expanding you in a way that you have not expanded yet. It will ask you to go beyond some of your fears and really step beyond it. And I feel like as a result of that, you're becoming more freer. You're loving yourself more and seeing what you're really made out of. Really, really beautiful. And you're also going to see how much support you have as well. Okay, so pile 3, that was your reading. I'm so sorry about all of the stops in this video. It just, my phone was full and I kept having to delete and delete. So I don't know if that's a sign for you, but it's definitely a sign for me that I need to really go through my phone and take out a bunch of junk that doesn't belong there. But thank you for your patience and thank you for watching. Do give this video a like if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I look forward to reading for you again. Have a great day. Bye.